Hello, and welcome to another update video about Ethereum. It has really paid off to remain focused on the downside most recently. ETH respected, pretty much all of our resistance levels. I think once here it broke above micro resistance, but you can see that it is worth to adapt quickly. We had then another interesting turnaround space here, turning point, resistance area, and another one here. Yesterday, price reacted to it and sold off to next support that we mentioned in previous videos, 1571. And now we want to talk about how does this microstructure evolve. First of all, we still look for further downside overall in the coming weeks, as long as certain levels are not broken to the upside. The first level that, if broken, would make me rethink is 1648. Yeah, we are going to talk about that in this video, and then 1700. Above $1,700, the yellow wave count will basically be invalidated, and the immediate downside potential is going to be, we have to take it off the chart basically. So we would then prefer the white wave count, which would give us 5 waves to the upside, but the current structure makes this more and more difficult. Okay, so while we can keep that scenario potentially alive, I would actually need to relabel it. Probably this would count as 1, this would count as 2, but it would need to turn to the upside right now. Okay. Yeah, I mean, the white wave count, I don't believe it until we break above that 78.6 retracement level, and therefore we remain focused on the yellow wave count as long as the resistance levels are holding. Okay, so what you need to understand is that we've got 5 waves down potentially now complete. And against certain resistances, we can continue to focus on lower. Now that we've got 5 waves down complete, after this wave 2 topped here on the 18th of September, I can count that as a potential circle wave 1 complete. Yes, it can still go down lower, and in the event of a sustained break below 1571, I would assume it goes next to 1530. But I would keep the option or the door open now to a potential recovery rally in a wave 2 that can start at any time. I have no indication yet that it started, so it's actually trolling support. But if we see a recovery rally, it is likely going to be circle wave 2, likely moving into the area between 1618 to 1648. And 1648 is the key level here to watch, because anything above that will make this circle wave 2 less likely, and it's then likely something else. Again, that could first of all be a reset of this wave 2 higher, but then again, if we break above 1700, then we have to change the overall assumption. And I mean, we've got the white wave count already on the chart. It just isn't very likely until I see a break above 1700. There's no need to focus on it. So yeah, it's currently following our projected sell-off, made actually one more low after my last video. Remember yesterday, the last video, ETH hadn't made that one more lower low, but it has done that now, which fulfills basically the minimum expectations for wave 5. Of course, it could always extend lower, and maybe it gets one more low, because so far it looks like we only have 3 waves down in this wave 5. I would find it quite likely to get one more nano low here, but obviously you get a lot of distortions on smallest time frames. But it could be that this was a small 1, 2, 3, maybe the small 4 as a triangle, and then 5, maybe an ending diagonal in wave 5. But yeah, again, this is just nano counting. Could get one more nano low, yeah. And then we might have to adjust the resistance area slightly. If anything changes about these, I will first announce it to gold members in the Signals group on Discord and Telegram. So check that out if you want to be kept up to date throughout the day about Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other coins. But yeah, I mean, there's not much more to say. Resistances need to be respected. Support needs to break. The yellow wave count is preferred at this stage. Expect a recovery rally either now or after one more low. And this is the area, yeah, and we want it to stay eventually below 1648. So even if I have to adjust resistance because the price drops a little lower, resistance would wander to the downside. So 1648 is still going to be relevant. But now it's a very obvious 5-wave move down. And yeah, it could get one more low, that's true, but it looks fairly complete to me. But again, micro counting is tricky. You can get various interpretations because of all the distortions that happen on these in these nanostructures. But eventually, in the coming weeks, a move down to $1,450 and possibly even $1,200, $1,300 is expected if the situation and the context stays the same that we see now. What could happen here as well is potentially this is all going to form into a large price channel. Yeah, so you've got a line here, a trend line here, something, not enough touch points really to make that a likely option, but it's something I'm observing that basically this entire move down in a C wave is going to form an ending diagonal. So it will be very choppy on the way down, which is good actually. I mean, if we see, I mean, it would be more chop, but if we see an ending diagonal in this C wave, yeah, guiding us lower, it will be very choppy. That's true, but we will be recognize the structures quite well, and it will be slow. And ending diagonals are ending, yeah, so they are ending a cycle. So we can keep the door open then, or keep the options, keep looking for higher eventually, okay? So that's what we are observing. But first of all, short-term bearish until the context on the chart changes and the analysis reveals exactly what those levels are. Okay, that's my update about ETH. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.